Hello and welcome to Holiday Greek. Today we want to look at a funny little quiz. How good is your Greek? Sometimes people ask me in the comments or when I tell them about the channel, what does this even mean? This is level A, this is level B, this is level C. How do I know which level I am? Are these somehow standardized or is this something you're making up, the A, B, C? And the answer is no, this is standardized. It's called the CEFR level, the CEFR level. I don't know how to pronounce that abbreviation, but these are official levels from the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. So this is where this abbreviation comes from, the CEFR. And these are used for all European languages. So you can have a CEFR level in Spanish, you can have another one in Greek, you can have one in English, right? So these just say how good you are in that. And these are kind of standardized so that people can communicate usefully. Instead of just saying, yes, I'm fluent, or I'm good at it, or I'm introductory at it, you can say I'm level ABC. And there are essentially 6 levels, A, B, and C, and each one of ABC is divided into 2, right? So this is how you get 6. So A1 is the beginner, A2 is the elementary, B1 is the intermediate level, B2 is the upper intermediate, C1 is advanced, and C2 is mastery. And then it ends. After that, you are a native speaker. And these levels are not only based on vocabulary, they also include grammar. So the higher levels have more complex grammar, while the lower levels have less complex grammar. So if you are able to say a hypothetical sentence in the future or something in the past that did not happen, then you have to use more complex grammar. So this increases your level. But also the vocabulary and also the topics you can talk about freely. So if you can only talk about everyday occurrences like the weather or what you are doing at this moment in the present tense, then you are a beginner or elementary level. While if you can talk about political and social issues and poverty in Greece in the 19th century, historical context and comparisons, then you are one of the C levels, right? Probably the C1 or C2. So this is a very comprehensive evaluation. You cannot just say it's a particular list of words that says which level you are, but you have to consider all these different factors: vocabulary, grammar, grammatical complexity, complexity of the sentences, complexity of the syntactic structure of sentences, and complexity of topics. And so if you want to know what you are, you can take official tests, of course, where you pay a lot of money to get your official level certified by some school. You can also take informal tests on the internet, mock tests, just to try out and see what you can do. But a very quick one I will give you today, and I just made this up, so this does not have any official weight to it. It does not say anything officially about your level, but you can use it perhaps as a rough estimation which videos on my channel will be useful to you, which will be too easy, which will be too hard. So see this not as really a CEFR level, but as a guide to where you are in relation to the videos on my channel. But of course, it's inspired by the CEFR level specifications. Okay, so beginner level, I will tell you one sentence, and if you can easily understand it, then you are better than this level. If not, then this is your level. A1 beginner, you can understand and use familiar everyday expressions and very basic phrases. Kalimera, πώς σε λένε, είμαι η Maria. Can you understand this? Easily, yes. Then you are at least A1. Let's go to the next one. Elementary means you can communicate in simple tasks requiring direct exchange of information. Θέλω έναν καφέ μεγάλα παρακαλώ. Πόσο κοστίζει? Θέλω έναν καφέ μεγάλα παρακαλώ. Πόσο κοστίζει? If you can understand this, then you are A2 or better. B1, intermediate. You can deal with most situations likely to arise while traveling or working. Νομίζω ότι αυτό το μουσείο είναι πολύ ενδιαφέρον, αλλά έχει πολλή φασαρία σήμερα. Νομίζω ότι αυτό το μουσείο είναι πολύ ενδιαφέρον, αλλά έχει πολλή φασαρία σήμερα. If you can follow this sentence, then you're probably B1 or higher. You see, this immediately gets much more complicated. And this is roughly the level of most of the lectures on this channel, right? I'm always aiming for this because if you're very basic, probably you're not engaging so much with YouTube. You're more using some of the apps to learn Greek. I think where YouTube becomes more useful than the apps is with B and C level, because these apps can only teach you simple sentences, simple vocabulary, while on YouTube you can do things like we are doing here, news, poems, literary texts. So that's much more for the advanced learner, intermediate learner. Okay, let's go to the next one. Upper intermediate B2 means you can understand the main ideas of complex texts and interact with fluency in everyday life. Αν και δεν συμφωνώ με την απόφαση, καταλαβαίνω τους λόγους που την υποστηρίζουν. Αν και δεν συμφωνώ με την απόφαση, καταλαβαίνω τους λόγους που την υποστηρίζουν. So here you see, this was roughly the thing you recently published about taxi driving strikes. You can go and watch this. It's very similar to these vocabulary here. So you see the syntactical structure is more complex. Now you have multiple ideas connected in this sentence, and you also have words like agreeing, disagreeing, understanding, and so on. So if you understand this, if this makes sense to you, you're likely B2 or higher. And then we have C1, advanced. You can express yourself fluently and spontaneously without much searching for expressions. So you're really comfortable speaking Greek, and even complex topics like technology, the future, specialized vocabulary in technology. For example, η τεχνολογία αλλάζει ραγδαία την κοινωνία μας και πρέπει να αναρωτηθούμε ποιες είναι οι ηθικές συνέπειες αυτής της αλλαγής. Η τεχνολογία αλλάζει ραγδαία την κοινωνία μας και πρέπει να αναρωτηθούμε ποιες είναι οι ηθικές συνέπειες αυτής της αλλαγής. So this is very complicated, right? If you are so good to understand this, then probably you shouldn't be here. Then you are likely a Greek or a so advanced learner that these topics here will be too easy for you. I will not make many of these. Occasionally we do one or two, but I don't do too many of these because, learners who are that good, they can just go and read a Greek book. Again, they don't need to watch a YouTube video. Mastery, finally, is you can understand virtually everything heard or read and express yourself precisely. It's interesting to say that in languages that are so complex as Greek, mastery is often, if you define it like that, not even achieved by many native speakers, because Greek has lots of very complicated historical language where even today's normal speakers, if you go to a city, you ask some worker, some farmer, people who don't have classic education, they will not be able perhaps to understand what you are saying. So this is very complex. But let's go and have a look at it. Παρά τις περίπλοκες κοινωνικοπολιτικές συνθήκες, η ανάγκη για ουσιαστικό διάλογο παραμένει επιτακτική. Παρά τις περίπλοκες κοινωνικοπολιτικές συνθήκες, η ανάγκη για ουσιαστικό διάλογο παραμένει επιτακτική. This is difficult news, right? This is something like Financial Times or something. If this feels natural to you, then you are likely C2, and then you don't have anything more to learn. You can just go to Greece and enjoy Greek culture, Greek books in all their complexity. Yeah, so look at this, do this little test. Tell me, what is your level? I'm really very interested to know what is your level, your specific level, just because I would like to know what the viewers of this channel are doing, what their level is, and also the readers of my newsletter. So if you find this in the newsletter or on the YouTube channel, leave a comment below. Please tell me what your level was according to this, because this will guide my future decisions on what videos to make. So if you're all C2 level, there's no point giving you A1 videos. And if you're all A2 level, I shouldn't give you C1. So make sure you tell me about this, and then I can serve you better with my content. And for the moment, that's it. Thank you, and see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.